Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 2, where I am somehow doing okay through some miracle. But I'm not doing amazingly, I suppose, but I'm doing fine. So let's just go ahead and take a look at these here. The USA is continuing to expand. Good for them. War between Spain and Morocco. Good to know, good to know. Now what I really want to see is the Ottomans to declare on Egypt again. That would be ideal, and I would really love it. Like, I don't think we can justify currently, is my guess. Like, I think we have to wait until the truce is up before we can justify. But what I would really love to do is figure out some sort of a way that we can take both of these states. That would be ideal. Because I absolutely want to get this coastal province. That's going to be very, very important for us. But at the same time, I don't like having exclaves. The only reason I took this particular region instead of this region is because it produces wool in those two provinces. And in here, we've got, you know, like, we've got tropical wood, we've got grain, and grain. We needed wool, so I procured us some wool, and hopefully that will help our budget a little bit. We can enact a following decision, Nagusa Nagast. Okay. The Age of Princes was a period in Ethiopian history lasting from about 1769 to the coronation of Tewodros II in 1855, during which Ethiopia was largely fractioned due to political infighting, and the imperial office reduced to the status of a mere figurehead. The coronation of Tewodros to Nagusa Nagast, King of Kings, ended the Age of Princes and ushered in the modern imperial era in Ethiopia. Is it time for a coronation? So what do we get here? All pops lose 1 militancy. That's actually really good because we just got a bunch of farmers gaining militancy. Gain 2 prestige, 17 research points, and we have cores on Eritrea, Oromia, and Amhara. Yeah, we are taking that. So that means that we have cores over here, right? So we have, if I go back into regional map mode, that means we have cores in Eritrea, and, of course, Oromia and Amhara, but we already own those. So that's less of a big deal, but having cores in Eritrea gives us a very good reason to go to war with Egypt for them. Like, I'm not sure we even need to justify if we have cores. I mean, we can't declare a war right now because we have a truce. Well, we could, but we shouldn't. Significant hits to our prestige. Really? Our prestige? Okay. Well, I'm not going to break the truce. One thing I would potentially like to do is get one more brigade over here. Like, we've got 1 unit of cavalry there. We don't have any cavalry here. That said, I don't really want to make more brigades right now because our soldiers can't support it. We are trying to grow our soldier population right now, but should be interesting. I would love it if we could colonize. But unfortunately, we cannot. So in the meantime, the question then becomes, what can we do about our economy? Well, I mean, we probably don't need to be spending quite so much on defense right now. I'm going to drop that down to 5% defense spending. So that way we're hopefully making money, like, all the time. And then the question is, what can we actually spend this money on? We can expand our forts, naval bases, and railroads. It's intriguing. We have to be civilized to build factories, which we currently are not. And we have to get tech for, I believe, all of these. So what can we currently spend money on right now other than troops? Well, that's a good question. I mean, we can spend it on imports. And that might be something that we want to do, because currently our middle class aren't getting their needs met. Everyone else kind of is. So, realistically, let's head into our trade here. Or actually... oh, we're stockpiling everything, and trade should be on automation for everything. So, if we're not getting anything and we're making money, then that should mean that the things that we need are not available on the market. Because, apparently, it goes in order of prestige. So the nations with the highest prestige, like the UK and France, they will get access to things on the market before we do. Which, fair enough. So in that case, we should probably be looking at our westernization, which I've once again forgotten where it is. Oh boy. How do I forget this quickly? Why am I so bad at this game? Okay, it's right here. That's why it is. It's under politics, under reforms. And of course, we do need to get reforms. So, foreign training methods. That would give us 10% land organization and 25% bonus research points when conquering. And civilization progress of 10%. That would be really nice, actually. That would cost 67.20. Like, what's the cheapest one? 84.88. 10,610, yikes. 8,400. 8,400. 8,400. 8,400. 8,400. Like, I'm pretty sure foreign training methods is the cheapest one. Yeah. Okay, good to know. So how is our... new conquerors doing? That's what I was looking for. Currently, it looks like... oh, average militancy, 1.0, 1.3, and 2.6, 2.5. That's dropping over there. So we've got 5.3 average militancy over here in Herrera, which is interesting to be sure. But we're working on it. Okay, so our population of adult males is changing by around 1 per day. That's not very much. Not very much at all. What's the population of Egypt right now? They were substantially higher than us. Yeah, they're about 500,000 more than us. Of course, conquering this region from them does help. Ah, there we go. We're now at 9 of 9 possible brigades. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new unit, and I'm going to move this unit of irregulars. And we're going to take them. I want to select just these guys. The conservatives are still losing. And I want to move them over to here. It is convenient that we can just walk through Bor, which has 86,000 people living in it. For an uncolonized province, that's a lot of people. Wow, okay. And then the idea is we recruit a unit of cavalry to go into this army so that we have 2 balanced armies. So where can we actually build an army? We can build one here in Ankober. So we'll build an Amhara cavalry. And eventually, that'll get finished up there. Wow, that wool is really pouring in. I like to see that. Conquering this wool-producing territory over here, that's really helping our wool production. Okay, we can go ahead and group that up. Our wine production... still not great, if I'm completely honest. In fact, pretty bad. Pretty bad indeed. So this truce was up in 1844, so 3 more years. Well, 3.5 more years, thereabouts. We are succeeding in encouraging soldiers up over here, which is always nice. The real question is, when are we going to get up to having additional brigades that we can support? Hopefully that'll be soon. But I really want to take Eritrea from Egypt. The major problem with this is that we're going to need to cap, what is this, 4 regions? Yeah, we're going to need to cap 4 regions here pretty quickly. And we also need to defend over here. Now, we could theoretically have a fort here if we had the tech, but we don't have the tech for that, so I don't think that's an option. So pretty much we're going to need this army to defend over here. So depending on how many troops we can support once we get here, we are probably going to invade with this force and like a secondary force. So this force would be a primary force that pushes in... Actually, let me create a battle plan here. And let's make sure we're on green, because I can see that a lot better. So essentially, we would have a defensive line like that-ish. And then these guys over here would have a defensive line that would be like that. And then we would push in something along the lines of this right here. And then these guys would kind of stay where they are until this is completed. And then on a second stage, which I'll do in... Wait, no, that should still be green. On a second stage, which I will do in... No, we don't want that guy selected. Which I'll do in blue here. We would then push kind of like this and like this. And then from there, we'd just go back and cap this until we had our war score. That's kind of the idea behind this war, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I hope it does. So these guys are going to need to move up, but we're going to wait until the N-Cobra Cavalry are done being created. That will bring us up to 10 out of 9 possible brigades, but I think we'll be fine being 1 over our cap. And hopefully our number of soldier pops will increase that number soon enough. But I gotta say, based on what I've seen so far, I'm really liking Vicky 2. This game seems pretty awesome. So the one other thing that I would like to do is I would like to build one more unit of irregulars, and this one is just going to be the single unit. They're going to be placed in Ausa so that they can follow this line here. And with this, theoretically, I hope we'll be able to actually fight Egypt. What I'm really hoping for is that the Ottomans repeat what they did before. Prices of machine parts are rising. Okay, that's nice. For people who make machine parts, that is not us in the slightest. So that's the overall plan, and then I suppose I could actually edit this so that we then have a border in blue so that our finalized border would look kind of like that, except not actually exactly like that. Our finalized border would be essentially that. Now, we're not going to get this territory here, but that would just be for war score purposes. And this is relatively defensible if you look, because we can just sit in Obeid at Bara, and then from there we could go like, I mean, this is passable over here in this game. So from there we could just sit like, instead of in Atbara, we could sit in Obeid and Kassala, and then have our small group over here in like Massawa. Or something like that. Maybe the small group in the center with the 2 bigger ones on the flanks so that they can come in and reinforce if necessary. But something like that. So these guys will head over to Ausa. And that's the overall plan. We've still got another 2 and almost 3 years, but that'll give us time for our number of soldiers to replenish, which is nice. We are getting currently about 35 males per month, which is also handy. And I feel like this is a reasonably solid plan, as far as plans go. We'll be able to see up this direction quite a ways, and they shouldn't be able to slip anything past us. The only real question is, do they bring in just a big ol' stack of brigades and try to smash through one portion of our lines? That's the big risk here. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we will continue waiting out our truce and work on our economy a bit maybe, but I mean realistically at this point, what we need more than anything is coastal provinces. Subscribe for more, and I will see you all next time.